Hi, my name is Will, and welcome to the Distorted Transmission. Today, I'm talking to a guy called Roger Nicholson, who lives down in Hastings, and he's the guy who runs the Napier Death Fest. How are you?
Brutal House, Will.
Let's talk about the Napier Death Fest 13, which is this year. Do you have the dates and all that information?
2024 Napier Death Metal Festival, NDMF 13, 2 stages, 20 bands, 2 nights, on Friday 1st of March, Saturday 2nd of March. So on Friday, we've got Imperial Slave, The Second Death, Perverter, Destructotron, Demon Feudal Harvest, Teeth and Nails, Heathen Collective, Dissonance, Real Authentic, and Act of Vengeance.
Act of Vengeance from Hamilton, right.
And then on Saturday, Decimation Hammer, Flesh Merchant, Silism, Bloodbox, Innisphere, Race of Troglodyte, Misanthropy, Corpse Feast, Horrendous Disfigurement, and Postnatal Abortion. I made a mistake. Teeth and Nails are now playing Saturday night. So apart from that, that's it. Brutal House.
Most people who go down, they'll hopefully go for both nights anyway. So if a band's on a differing night than what you just mentioned, they'll be able to see them anyway.
Yeah, $20 a night. Tickets are on sale from under the radar. There's door sales. Same deal. Doors at 7:30. Bands on at 8 o'clock.
On your poster, it says doors are 7, first band 7:30. Has that changed?
Oh, it does too. Well, there you go. Looks like doors are at 7 and bands are on at 7:30.
Yeah, that was lucky. I've been down to the Napier Death Fest a few times now, probably about, I don't know, three times, possibly 3 or 4. And the thing I like about the Napier Death Fest is that you've got a 2-stage layout. You've got you got the big stage up one end, you got a smaller stage with a PA at the other end, and then as one band finishes, there's no changeover, dead air. Like the next band, pretty much, all things going well, just kick straight into it. So has it always had that 2-stage layout? Is that how it began, or was that later on when it got bigger?
The 2-stage layout come, I think it was the 5th one. Only because Roy sort of said there's a second stage here to use, and it sort of worked out well. And because of that, it sort of snowboard, more bands could play, and then we eventually added on a second night sort of thing. So it works out quite well. Bands also get to have like a half an hour to set up rather than being rushed to do a quick 10-minute changeover and then get things underway. That always helps.
I like that too, actually, like the kind of convenience of spending half an hour getting all your cymbals in the right place.
Yeah, man.
And sort of getting super comfy, like being able to make sure your sampler or your pedals or your triggers or whatever are 100% okay, because those 15-minute changeovers are quite nerve-wracking at times, eh?
Yep. And even when the other band finishes, you still get that little 5-minute, tweak, and then away you go, sort of thing.
Line check or whatever. Yeah. This is the 13th one. So when did it actually start?
2013 was the first one. It sort of was the reason why it started was at that particular time, the New Zealand death metal scene was just boom. Heaps of bands, heaps up Auckland, heaps in Wellington, and heaps down south. And it was, all it was just like asked all the boys if their bands wanted to play. They all said yes, and that became the first Death Fest. There was really never really any plan for it to keep carrying on. But next year, when that one rolled around, I asked a bunch of Wellington bands, and they all said yes. And it sort of kick-started from that. Like it became like a Wellington edition, if you will. And then I thought, oh, well, make the next one an Auckland edition. And that became the third one. And Ulcerate and Dawn of Azazel ended up headlining that one. And then it just, that was it. It just, I was like, oh, it looks like we're having another fest next year. And oddly enough, the fourth one, it was a bit of a bummer, like a low sort of hardly any people turned up sort of thing. But after the fifth one, when we did the 2 stages, it just took off. 90% of the reason why the Napier Death Fest exists is because of all of the bands that decide to play when I hit them up to play.
Right.
I'm just running something that I'd like to go to. I'll pay $20 to go to this gig. Shit. Well, unfortunately, I've got to be the one to put the gig on so I can go to it.
There's not a lot of massive death fests or anything like that. Like there used to be a lot at the King's Arms back before that closed. There were like massive, like 6 bands, 7 bands kind of thing. They'd happen quite often, but when the King's Arms closed, that sort of just disappeared. And now we've got Napier kind of filling up that void. So it's vital, I think. Yeah.
That was also the other reason, is that Napier itself, before the Death Fest, it was like, even after the Death Fest, like metal bands in general, especially death metal ones, they'd come through like probably 1 or 2 bands a year, or even if that, like every 2 or 3 years. It was, if you were from the Bay, chances are you were going to Wellington or Auckland to watch a band that you want to watch. So that was the reason behind this, is to get all these bands, these like especially underground New Zealand bands that, they fork out a arm and a leg to get here and to play, half-hour sets. We've all done that, driven up to Auckland, play for nothing and drive home because we just want our bands to play. That's sort of what the Napier Death Fest sort of caters for, sort of thing.
Some years you've had more than one death fest, especially recently due to the COVID disruptions. Like you're putting on a couple a year, and of course it started in sort of 2013, and it's only 2024, and you've had 13 of them already. So are you planning to maybe put another one on later on this year, or is this enough for this year?
All right, you've called me out. Well, right, there is another one planned for September. That's pretty much already sorted. It's just got to happen, really. It's sort of it's going to just be a one night only, because it's like a birthday edition sort of thing. Yeah, but there's a few more just tweaking to go with the bands that are involved. Like they all want to play. It's just a matter of if we all get there by the time September rolls around.
Oh, it's plenty of time.
Hopefully.
How's your t-shirt collection going? Because like you're quite often posting about it, about all your fancy ass brand new shirts. So you must have way too many by now, right?
You can never have enough, right? Come on, bro. You just gotta have enough fucking money to pay for those shipping and those fucking changes in finance. Fucking hell, bro.
There was a cattle decapitation and the obituary show. You hit me up to get you some of the shirts from the merch desk because you're afraid that when they hit Wellington there wasn't going to be enough merch, and there was. So that's about 5 shirts from my end that have gone to you alone.
It makes it easier for me, so I don't have to carry around shirts at the gig. Because I've been caught out a few times. Like I missed out at Mayhem, went straight to the merch desk, sold out. So maybe if I had caught you that time, I might have had a shirt.
Maybe. Next thing is what's going on with your bands? Just before we wrap up, are there any plans to record more stuff, or are there any other shows outside the Napier Death Fest that your bands, Horrendous Disfigurement and Corpse Feast, for those who don't know, what's going on with them?
There is a bit of chatter about the getting the Horrendous Disfigurement recording done. That's a long time in the making, but I'd like to try and figure something out. That's all I can say as far as recording side of thing goes for both bands. But for playing, we're still playing any gig that pops up. Both bands.
When did those bands actually start?
Oh, geez. So Corpse Feast started in '94. That's with the brother Claude. That thing just never dies. It just carries on. We just keep getting asked. Guys want to play, and we're like, hell yeah, we'll just turn up and play. No practice, and just carry on. Horrendous Disfigurement, oddly enough, that band started because Corpsey's finished one of its many finishes. So I started Horrendous Disfigurement because of it. Funny thing is, I wrote all that stuff 5 years before the band actually became a band. And that was thanks to Adam and Mark wanting to jam, just simply wanting to jam. So we got together, jammed a few Suffocation songs for a couple of weeks, and then I pulled out the old, why don't we just do this? And then we started Horrendous Disfigurement, and that's it.
Okay.
And then out of that sort of came the Death Fest because there was just too many bands.
I think we were almost going to run out of time, so I guess we should probably wrap it up. Is there anything else you'd like to add to the end of the interview?
Come to the Napier Death Fest. If you're not already going to Val's Thrash Fest in Wellington, Auckland, that's all good because Teeth and Nails will be supporting the Friday night edition, then playing the Death Fest on Saturday, and Imperial Slave will playing the Death Fest on Friday and then supporting the Saturday night edition in Auckland. So, Brutal House.
Gotcha. All right, Roger. Well, all the best for the show this year, and have a wonderful evening and a wonderful week.
Cheers, Will.
Thanks for watching.
House.